Welcome back to Chaos Corner. It's me, it's the GOC, coming to you live to tape as we continue our review of Night 12, Round 1 of Avi Klein's 64-person single elimination bracket-style tournament. When you last tuned in, we had just left all three winner circles, and we had left the interview, the conversation, if you will, between everyone and their mother and their brother, everything but the kitchen sink. In Davis Jubilee's segment on the winner circle that featured Wormser from Revenge of the Nerds fame, and that would be one Andrew Cassese, or Andrew Cassese, however you want to say it. Cassese, Cassasi, potato, tomato. He was one hell of a guy, and he still is going to face Michael Winslow, and Andrew's down 1-0, so we're looking forward to that matchup. So we're covering Night 12. We're on to the matchup part of the review. We already covered Miranda's Serene Room and the fiasco and the haze that hung over Miranda. And the whole Serene Room. We already covered the three different winner circles with Mr. Main Event, David Holliday, Mr. Piss and Vinegar, Rich Masadi, and of course the Southern Aristocrat, Davis Jubilee. There's been a lot of things going in and out. We even had Ken Patera on. So let's move on. Let's get the ball rolling. Let's get to the matchup part of the Green Room Tournament. Every Saturday night, live, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You're not going to want to miss it. And then there's Night 13 coming up this Saturday night, August 7th, which leads us into Night 14, which will be on, of all nights, August 14th, for the finale, the extravaganza of the Dark Castle. This is what you did, Avi. This is what you did, Pete. It all started on May 8th with this tournament. And we know that on September 12th of 2020 was the debut of the Green Room. And now it's up to almost 1.5 million viewers live. Look at my timeline. Go over to what Jay Brony is doing over on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. And you'll see all the stars that are coming out. And yes, you, the fans, because the most important thing are your comments, and all your live votes matter. So let's roll on to the matchup part of Night 12. We're out of the winner's circle. We're out of the Serene Room. Let's enter the fray. So Avi and Pete are back on screen. This is the first official matchup of the night in Night 12. Once again, and I'll say it in every segment, the video montages that Avi puts together, I don't know who the narrator is. I don't care who the narrator is. But they do a damn good job. And they're specific and individual to each contest, each matchup, and to each individual competitor. Where else do you get the rub like that on this platform? Second to none. As much as I don't like you, Klein, it's a mutual thing. I guess I have to respect you. I've earned a little bit from you. In turn, you've earned a little bit from me. Coming to a TV near you. Chaos Corner. Live to tape. Let's move it on. Let's get to the task at hand. This is not a monologue. Let's get to the matchups. So, Avi and Pete talk about Green Room original Howard Collado after the video montage. Again, award-winning montages, trailers, outros, whatever you want to call them. Short films. Howard Collado, as I say. Now listen, this guy's been screwed over more times than Bret Hart in the Montreal Screwjob. And I don't like to talk about wrestling, but I figured in a pink and black attack, that's another story for another time. Three or four of his opponents, I think it's 3 of his opponents, have disappeared. Now, we know Howard is a talented musician, a thespian, and theater, and artist. He does everything, improv. Listen, there isn't anything that Howard Collado can't do. He's one of the originals here in the Dark Castle. So who will be the mystery entrance? Now, there's been a lot of spin the wheel and make the deal with Avi Klein and Pete from Sharpie and his former battle buddy, R.G. James. And the Legion is looking for you. Just remember that. And you too, Pete. But that's neither here nor there. Now, who will be the mystery opponents? They bring Howard on. Now, Howard is intense. Listen, Howard, I'll give him credit. He's always got passion, dedication. He's always intense. He follows direction. He's a true professional. I see him in conference in the green room. I see him around the back. I've seen him at local venues. I mean, this guy is second to none with his talent. He just about, like David Holiday, checks all the boxes as a complete performer. Hey, listen, we're all a work in progress. But I haven't seen Howard this passionate for this particular matchup. He wants to move on to the second round. He's been stalled. His Buff Bagwell disappeared. The Sarge disappeared. People couldn't take it. They couldn't take the pressure. They couldn't hack it, or they walked away for their own reasons. I don't know. I don't care. I don't think Howard Collado cares at this point. I'm here to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly of the green room. You know that you understand that. Howard's intense. As I said, he's ready. He's focused. And now Avi says, you know, he's always got to throw something in there. He's been digging Howard from the rip, from the muscle, if you will. Avi, why so different the fourth time around, Howard? And only the way that Avi Klein says it. So why so different this time around? And then Avi drops it on Howard. He doesn't even give him a chance to respond. This is going to be a round-robin tournament matchup, a three-way, if you will. You're not only going to have one mystery opponent, Howard Collado, Avi Klein says, you're going to have two. It's going to be a best 2 out of 3 against 2 other opponents. It's a three-way dance. It's a round robin. The winner of this, now remember, it's a mystery opponent. Stand by, don't go anywhere. We don't know who it is yet. Avi's always pulling something out of the hat. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be somebody from film, TV, movies, sports, entertainment, theater, pro wrestling legends? Who's it going to be? Will it be somebody from the past? Will it be somebody that's dropped off the face of the Dark Castle in the green room? I don't know at this point. So the rules are the winner of tonight's matchup will advance to the extravaganza, the finale of round 1, moving on into round 2 on August 14th. The 2 that don't make it out in night 12, they will face each other coming up this Saturday night for night 13 live, August 7th. I hate putting timestamps on it, but you get the gist. So here we go. Spin the wheel, make the deal, and now Avi introduces someone. Now, it's a personal connection. This person has looked out for Avi before. They've known each other for a long time. That seems to be the gist on the green room, whether it be David Holiday, Jamie Sparling, R.G. James. Avi goes back with a lot of these guys a long way, and they have a history. It really is something. So he talks about all the different folks. This person had given him a huge opportunity at Midtown Manhattan at the Bally's. I've been there before, Avi Klein. I've been at that Midtown Manhattan Bally's before. I might have been wearing the pink feathers, but that's another story for another time. So who could it be? But they have a personal connection. This person has looked out for Avi, helped Avi. Of course, nobody had any clue. This person was and is a personal trainer. Avi even alludes that they worked on a project together. So there's some connection and some background. Bally's personal trainer working on projects. And who is it? And someone who I don't think anyone expected. What an unbelievable visual impact this person brought. And one tough hombre. I will say that to say this. And we're introduced to a pugilist trainer, Coach Sharon. That's right, Coach Sharon. Now listen, this lady came on and she was in a tank top and she was ripped, jacked, buffed, like shredded wheat. And boy, was she in good shape. And you know what? Her demeanor was one of competitiveness, but one of looking for someone that wants to help you. She looks like a helper, a giver. That was my first impression. Besides being, in great shape, Coach Sharon, she was even teaching Pete from Sharpie as they moved on different things. I thought I was back with Martin Cove and sweep the leg. I mean, there was a lot going on in this three-way dance, and I'm going to try to get through it quick because we're doing this in segments. Night 12, round 1 rolls on in the Green Room Tournament. Coach Sharon She trained, actually, Howard Colato in boxing. Avi, here's a caveat. Avi hooked up Howard with Coach Sharon to train, and Coach Sharon said he left a little bit to be desired, to say the very least. Not on time, not in shape, not punctual, didn't follow directions. I was very surprised to hear all that from Coach Sharon. I don't know her. I'm just saying, I've seen Howard milling around in the back. I mean, he looks like he's in decent shape. I mean, he's lean. He's got, 2%, 3% body fat? I'm just saying. And then we bring in, so that's one mystery contestant. So now it's Howard Colato and Coach Sharon, who, if you listen to her story and you go back and watch it, man, she has one hell of a background. She really does. A woman that does all things, like the powerful women of the green room. That's the common denominator here in the green room. Although you think it's a male-dominated field and competition, it isn't. Everyone from Sally Kirkland to Diane Franklin that was in it, to Mindy McKinney-Red, to Miranda, to Sammy Green, and all the ones that have fallen off by the wayside that couldn't take it. Look at the women that are left in this tournament and how strong they are. So it's no surprise to have another competitor with her pedigree of walking beside a man as opposed to behind him. There's a lot to be said for that in the green room. I'm not going to tell you what happens behind the scenes. That's neither here nor there. Maybe that'll be a show or a segment for another time. Behind the scenes of the green room. Oh, what do you think, Avi? What do you think, guys? I think that you're thinking. That's what I think. So we bring on the next competitor, mystery opponent, and this person also has pedigree and certainly someone who's a talented athlete and performer who has been around the green room before and actually goes way back to before all of this and has a long history. Again, the common denominator amongst a lot of people here in the Dark Castle is they all have history. They all know each other. And that's why I like it, because I don't know any of you. And I'm going to keep it that way. But you know who comes back? Jarrell. Jarrell is back. That's right. In shape. Good-looking guy, Jarrell, Avi's buddy. He's been on the green room before. He was basically just about an original, a talented guy who's cast all over the place. Well, he's back in the green room. He's back in the fray, and he's back in the competition. And Howard and Jarrell have history. As a matter of fact, Howard's former amour was Jarrell's sister. So there's history. And I guess she kicked Howard to the curb. He's still picking tar out of his ass. That's what I heard. He got kicked to the curb by Jarrell's sister. So there's history there. There's animosity. They all go back. Coach Sharon, Jarrell, Howard Colato in a three-way dance, a round robin. Let's get to the facts. So we talk about the tournament. Jarrell says to Avi, and this is why you know the history, and if you've been watching, you know who Jarrell is. Jarrell says that he and Avi are triple OGs. Not an OG, not a double OG. A triple OG is what Jarrell says. He's been down since day one. They even talk about him being an original and Mickey Doyle, a triple OGs. I said a M-A-S, a T-E-R, a G with a double E. I said I go by the unforgettable name of the man they call him Master G. Well, my name is known all over the world. All the foxy ladies and pretty girls are going down in history as the baddest brother there ever could be. I mean, that's what we have going on here. So we get back to the round robin. Jarrell puts it all out there, and he's actually, Howard is dissed by Jarrell's sister, so to speak, and Jarrell basically lays it out there. This is what you get in the green room if you don't have thick skin. He basically says, wow, that Howard's pretty arrogant and scumbag and a-hole. I'm not going to get too graphic and report everything. I'm giving you the good, the bad, and the ugly. I don't want to get censored off here. So it really was something. And now the coach is back, okay? So there's heat between Jarrell and Howard. Now Coach Sharon is back. Now, she was a boxer and a dancer. I already gave you the resume. Look at her profile picture. You'll understand. Now, she talks about Howard and trying to train with him, and I went through some of this, and he has no focus, and he wasted her time, and she saw nothing in him, and he didn't show up, and it was poor excuses, and Avi comes in and calls Howard a bum and unprofessional, and Howard says, this is what he says, it was not right and that he was not. Howard tries to defend himself. And he says that he's not in the right place. He talks storm and thunder. This is Howard's excuses. Avi's in on the conversation too. And there's just all a connection here in the green room. So let's roll on with the round robin here. It's going to be one of our longer segments. So we hope we can get this up to you, the fans. This is what you want to see because without you guys, we're nothing. So Howard, Jarrell, and Coach Sharon in the round robin. Here's the first challenge. It's the improv. Now, Howard goes first. Now, you know that the judge, Pete from Sharpie, the national sponsor, who's got a lot of heat with people. He wants apologies. We know that. He's going to role play in this as he usually does and has been doing here since he hit the great reset button. Howard has to portray a Spanish-speaking surfer named Manu who has to go potty ASAP, but he's 45 miles from shore. And meanwhile, he's delusional. And he's taking it out on a dolphin played by Pete, who's named Frankie. A dolphin named Frankie, who he thinks speaks Spanish. No me joda maricón, muérete, culo. I don't know. Just anything. El baño. What do you want me to say? So Howard, who is of Latin descent, starts off speaking in Spanish and transitions to English and is immediately disqualified. Howard, what are you doing? Where's your head at? Where's your focus? I don't know. Disqualified. He didn't speak Spanish. We go on to Jarrell. Jarrell has to portray, now remember the talent on this guy. Jarrell has to portray a lazy firefighter, okay, named Greg. And he refuses to assist Pete in putting out the fire. Now, Greg has a tick and is preoccupied by the Family Guy. Talk about Hollywood, talk about TV, talk about ratings, talk about Nielsen's, talk about entertainment. Family Guy, what a skit. Fans, if you missed these skits and these improv, I don't know what you were doing. Jarrell knocked it out of the box. It was pretty funny. We go on to Sharon. Now, Sharon worked, I guess, with Avi, if I got my notes right, the No Name Project. Avi reminisces about the No Name Project. Isn't that something with Coach Sharon, the pugilist? Now, Sharon has to portray a former drill sergeant turned librarian who meets Pete and his 4-year-old who drew on the book in the library. And the drill sergeant librarian, Coach Sharon, flips out and repeats everything twice and repeats everything twice. That was the skit. That was the skit. That was the improv. That was the improv. Do you get it yet? Do you get it yet? Repeats everything twice. Repeats everything twice. Wow. Who comes up with this? Avi, you're writing. I don't know what you're doing at 3 o'clock in the morning. But I'll tell you, it lets you ponder what really the heck is going on as we transition here in the round robin tournament. The three-way, if you will, with Howard, Jarrell, and Coach Sharon. We go on to the continued improv challenge, the second challenge for Howard. He has to play an accountant named Cliff. Helped by doing everything. Again, Pete is role-playing. He's trying to help, but he's doing everything in patty cake and finishing Pete's sentences. Patty cake, oh, patty cake. Really? Cliff playing patty cake as an accountant and finishing Pete's sentence. You have to watch it. I can't explain it. I'm not here to break down everything. What an improv. Jarrell, in turn, has to play a martial arts instructor named Sensei Willie, helping student Pete while freestyling about the Milwaukee Bucks with ants crawling up his leg. Now, I already gave you my freestyle. I don't want to get into it again and make this a super long segment, but it was well worth the price of admission. I'll give Jarrell credit. A dance, it really was. Martial arts instructor Sensei Willie helping Pete while freestyling about the Milwaukee Bucks with ants crawling up his leg. Now, here's Sharon's second challenge for the improv. Sharon, and now this isn't a reach for her, she has to play a dance instructor named Lisa, teaching a student named Pete salsa. But Sharon grunts like an animal while she's teaching Pete the salsa. Oh, I wish I had a little. Unbelievable. Let me tell you something. Really knocked it out of the box. Avi came back with mystery entrants that are two regular people like all of us who all belong in the green room. Whether you're a star, a up-and-comer, a has-been, a wannabe, it doesn't matter. We're all the same in the green room. That's the difference here. But he couldn't have come up with two better people to have in this round robin with Coach Sharon and Jarrell against Green Room original Howard Collado. The salsa and dance instructing was really something. And I'll give Pete credit. He's learning again the moves. Pete tried to dance, do a little mamba. I'll give Pete credit. I hope Sharpie is watching and paying attention to Pete from Sharpie. He might have a future. Avi will say no. He said no in the back of the green room. You know that. He said no, Pete. Let's roll on. We go to the votes. Pete votes for Jarrell. Avi votes for Sharon. We go to the fans, and that's why I always say all your live votes matter on the green room every Saturday Night Live. We know that. The fan votes come in. They go for very few for Howard, and what ones that were read for Howard, Avi either passed by it, didn't read it. Sharon, Jarrell, Sharon, Howard, occasionally, Jarrell, Sharon, Jarrell, Sharon, Jarrell. And the fans go for what's familiar, and they vote for Jarrell. That's why you make the difference. Jarrell goes up 1-0. Here's the next challenge. It's a promo challenge that Avi Klein throws out there for the 3 contestants. The 3 combatants, if you will. I love this part of the game. I've been involved in one of these challenges. And let me tell you something. It's a lot of fun. You got to be snappy. You got to have a pen and paper at your side. And you got to follow direction. Here we go. Promos in the 3-way round robin. Howard, August 12th, the Sky Dome. Loser League Town match versus Big Bird. Jarrell, August 15th at Madison Square Garden in a last man standing match versus Isaiah Thomas. I don't know where he comes up with them, but I love him. Sharon, August 4th at the State Farm Arena in Atlanta in a boxing match against Pee Wee Herman. It was a sight to behold, fans. You had to be there. Here we go. Let's go to the votes. Unbelievable contest. They all knocked it out of the box with promos. You have to think on your feet. It's improv. Avi doesn't give any of the challenges away. So here we go. We go to the votes. Pete votes for Jarrell. Avi votes for Sharon. We go to the fans again. That's why I can't stress it to you enough. All your live votes matter. Your comments attending live. Almost 1.5 million of you. I can't stress it enough. There's a lot of people watching. We go to the votes. Once again, Howard gets sparing votes. I don't know why. Avi skips over him, but I'll be honest. I'm giving you the good, the bad, and the ugly. He didn't get a lot of votes. Jarrell, Sharon, Coach Sharon, Jarrell, Coach Sharon, Jarrell. And again, overwhelming, well, not overwhelming by a smidgen, by maybe 3 votes. And I think it's because he's a good-looking guy, he's an athlete, he checks all the boxes, and he has history here in the green room. Jarrell wins by the fans' vote. He sweeps the night. He wins 2-0. Welcome back, Jarrell. 2-0. With a green room original and Howard Collado. And you wiped him out. And with Coach Sharon, who's no one to be trifled with. So here's how we go. Next week, which is this week, Saturday Night Live, August 7th, Howard and Sharon go head-to-head. The coach and her former student. That's going to be something. Howard, you keep catching the tough breaks. And I said it before, if it wasn't about damn luck, you wouldn't have any luck. So Howard and Sharon, coach, if you will, this Saturday Night Live. And then Jarrell bounces on to August 14th for the extravaganza and the finale. Unbelievable. This 3-way, Avi, you knocked out of the box. The fans participated. It was an unbelievable match. Jarrell is back. He's up 1-0 in this matchup. He moves on to the finale. Coach, Howard, good luck. Let's leave the triple threat, the round robin, and head on into the Legion, Eric Heron, and the Enigma, Hauser Odalock. Here on Chaos Corner, coming to a TV near you. Don't you dare miss it. The Green Room.